Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 81 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And today's service hero is a dear friend of mine, and his name is David Jones. Now, let me tell you about David Jones. He is truly one of the smartest men I know. He comes from the industry, the computer industry, and has taken that amazing brain of his and he's retired and early, and he has now created patents. He's finding ways to save the world, literally one worm at a time. So I am going to let my dear friend that is running a nonprofit tell you about one man's trash, another man's treasure. David, let's talk. Tell us about, first of all, welcome. I just love you, and I'm so glad you're here.
This is so awesome. I'm glad to be with you here. This is an awesome show. You're the greatest, and let's do it.
Okay, let's do this. All right, now, first of all, I have to say, and I'm going to bring on our names, but first of all, we have Sharon in the house, who is, I know she was so excited when she found out you were going to be on today. So,
Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. All right. We're going to talk about where you are. You are at, like, I don't want to call it really a farm, but it's kind of like a gentleman's farm, or it is a farm. It's a
first book. I titled it The After Meal because it concerns everything to do with after you finish a meal. The plastic, the straws, the leftover animal waste, the vegetable waste, the napkins, and even the ice. Ice in particular. Okay, my mission is to change the way we think about trash and garbage. Basically, everything comes in a package. You know, we package everything. We package it with plastic or we package it with paper. And the product, once it's opened, what's left of the packaging, I would call post-packaging. Okay. I don't call it garbage just yet because we haven't created garbage. It's still packaging. You know, this packaging can still be taken and given another life. So it doesn't become garbage until we actually mix liquids in with the mix. In the black liner bag, every restaurant you go to, you're going to get a burger, a fry, and a big 40 of ice, some big cup of ice. You know, you're going to drink, you're going to mix up your syrup. There's 30 flavors of syrup that you can put into your ice to make your soda. After you finish with that soda, the main thing that's going to be left, because you're going to eat the burger, you're going to eat most of the fries, you're going to have a little paper left, some plastic left, but you're going to still have that cup of ice. That cup of ice persists. And when we add that cup of ice back to the black liner bag, that is the problem. That is what causes garbage. I've analyzed this process, and I went to a number of restaurants, and I just sat there and I watched, and they start hauling off their garbage bags. They have to put them on gurneys. They're so heavy. After 15, 20 cups of ice, you've added 20 pounds to this. You know, the paper doesn't weigh anything. You know, you can put a lot of paper in one bag, but when you add that ice to it, all the byproducts of our after meal, the carcinogen, the MSG, the preservatives that preserve the shelf life of food, all of these are carcinogens, and we get away with putting so many of them in our food, but when you take all of them and add them to the black liner bag, and then you throw in 20 cups of ice, you just added ice to the mix. It turns it all into a mush. Nobody wants to work with that. So I've come up with the concept and the idea of trying to educate people against creating garbage. That's when you add the liquid to the mix.
Don't you have, I'm sorry to step on your words, David, but you sent me a picture, and that's the machine that works with this process, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring that up into the picture here, and you can tell us now, when you told me about this a while ago, the way I thought about it, because I think very simple, was that, okay, there's going to be a separation, right? A separation of it all. And this is the machine that's going to help make that happen. And so that the ice doesn't make it. Basically, what I was thinking is the ice is an offender in that black bag, but it can be a defender against waste if it is put in the right way, right?
Let me go through this product here. This is the render of the WRC, the water reclamation canister. That first slot has a filter in it. So you throw the cup of ice in there. Now, people are not going to have to deal with this problem. We have waiters that are trained to go back with that big gurney of a plastic thing, and they collect all of the cups of ice, and then they collect the plates, and they'll throw it all in there together, and they create garbage at that instant. So what we simply want to do is educate them to the fact that all those cups of undrank water can go into this machine. The ice goes into the back section where it is filtered. Nothing sticks to ice. The ice slides into the front chamber, and in that front little chamber is for water, potable water that doesn't have ice in it. For example, your undrank table water. You just throw that in there because it doesn't need to be filtered. What this machine will do is it will melt the ice, pump it into a holding tank, and allow us to use it in a toilet or lawn application. Who needs to pee in fresh water? I mean, whose bright idea was that? So what we got here is a system that entices the user. Okay, like in a 7-Eleven restaurant, you've got that big container full of ice where they cool off all of the soda. What do they do with that ice melted water at the end of the day? They'll let it flush down the drain. My system here can accommodate 3/4 inch connections where you can just pump that unused water. This is fresh water I'm talking about. I'm not talking about mop water or dish water. You know, there are certain levels of classifications of water. As soon as the water comes out of your tap, it's called gray water. The state deems that it is gray water and it can't be used again. You gotta throw it out. You can't serve that to another customer, you know, if the first customer doesn't drink it. So these are instances of fresh water.
Okay. All right. So didn't you get a patent on this?
Yes. This particular product, as soon as I got all, it took me 30 years to work on this. This started out as a concept of Wally Well. I had a will. I got pictures to prove it. I did this 30 years ago. So I've been thinking about this product for the last 30 years. This is a fulfillment of a dream, of a lifetime dream. Okay. Wally Well had a grill on his tongue, and because McDonald's had all of these different characters to sell the burgers. So I came up with Wally Well because at the time, whales were in danger. So his tongue would let the ice slide into his belly where it would be melted, but the ice clogged up right here. So it kind of like threw me off. I didn't know what to do with the ice. I knew that ice was a natural resource that we were wasting by throwing it away. But my concept of the Wally Well, it didn't work. So I developed this new concept of the machine that you just showed so that, the ice has to be melted, because if you collect too much ice in one particular container, it'll freeze up again on you. So figured that out. Figured it out, and I got it to the point where I could melt the ice efficiently, pump it into a holding tank where it can be recycled and filtered again, and pumped into a lawn. This reduces the fresh water use by at least 40%.
Right. And so then that fresh water, I'm thinking here, because you got Wally Well, and then now you've got a farm.
Okay.
So you're about the animals. Okay. Okay, so we've talked about the water thing. I want to get to the farm. I want to start talking about that because it's just fascinating and what you're doing. First of all, you were really wonderful. We were together not long ago with one of our favorite people in the world, Sherry Watson, and we were all so proud of you when you were talking about what you're doing now. You've talked about the water. I had not heard about Wally Well, though. That was great. I love Wally Well. I have him in my mind now. But when you start talking about, and so many of us just want to go for a field trip, and I know others are doing it now. that you are actually, are you growing worms? Are
Okay.
you?
Farm.
Yeah, let's go into it.
Okay, I've been living here for 20 years. After I retired about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to be an entrepreneur to develop this product, which is patented, that I have. And in the process, I started thinking of what I could do to make a living from home. I live on a farm. This is a 2-acre farm that I'm living on. And in the back there, we grow rabbits. We're rabbit breeders. I bought some of my furry friends right here. I don't know if you can see them.
All right, and then I've got some pictures of your furry friends.
Okay. Now these are some of my students. These are kids who either bought a rabbit or they came to our class. And what we do in the class, in our office right over there, I turn my house into an office. We've got a table with 20 chairs in there. We invite homeschool groups to come out. We're now getting K-12 school groups to come out. We build worm bins and we supply them with worms. They want us to set up their AG department and teach their class about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, and also about worms. Okay, this is Vivian, the picture you just put up. She came about two months ago to our class. We gave her a sunflower seed. What you see there is she planted the sunflower seeds. We let her put it in a cup of dirt, and we told them to take it home and plant it and see what comes out. She planted. This is the first one that sent the picture back, and we got more that are coming though. But anyway, this is a picture of her. We're so proud of her because they were so much fun. Those kids were playing in worms. I bought a bale of worms out, and they started finding the eggs in the worms. I mean, I had more fun than them, but they were really getting into it. And so what we do is we recycle everything we can. We'll go out and buy a bottle. Bottled water, we'll tear the label off and put our own label on it. And we'll take worm castings, we'll liquefy it and make worm emulsion. We've got that in one hydroponic store so far, and we've got others we're trying to get into. We'll take the rabbit pellets. Hey, Dawn, do we have a sack of rabbit pellets in there? It's either in the back there, and then in the refrigerator back there, there's a bottle of the worm emulsion. I want to show the audience what we've got here.
In your house?
Yes. Penny, there, could you open that door? There should be one on the table there. We are a group of master gardeners out here. We're all, Dawn that you just saw walk past, she's a master gardener. She knows the botanical name of darn near every flower and plant we got going here. This is the driveway into Ivory Farm. So looking at the house, and in the back there is where we have cages where we keep kennels. Yeah, that's what I want. Yes, please. And what we in the back we have guinea pigs. What else we have? We have peacocks. We have peacock babies. I'm surprised you don't see some of them running around now. But we've got tons of kittens. Kittens are all over the place. And we've got a new dog. Our dog is Ivory. Thank you, Penny.
Go.
Penny's one of our help. This is a sack of rabbit pellets.
Hi, Penny.
Oh, there I am.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Thank you for what you do there.
Working hard out here.
It's cool.
The bottle of our worm emulsion, repackaged with our own label. We take a water bottle and we save the water bottles, we recycle them, and we put worm emulsion. Dawn, come here a hot second. This is Dawn. She's a master gardener as well. I just want her to say hi. This is Tamara.
Hi, Tamara.
Now she is a master gardener. She can
Thank
quote
you for what you do.
Plants. And this is what we do. We take seeds. We actually save the seeds from our plants, and we put them in pots, and we'll sell them when people come over and visit. They'll usually buy a plant. So that's how we get our little lunch money.
And then I'm the Vice President of Education for OMTsystems.org.
She conducts our classes, and
I have
conduct
school classes out here, and then I'm working with the Turlock Unified School District. We're setting up ag departments for the 5th graders. Yeah, so that's what we do.
We have more.
So from what I hear then is it started where you were helping to educate the children that were being homeschooled, and the program has gone so well that now it is expanding into the public school system.
And then I do free classes twice a week, gardening classes for just the general public too.
Okay. And
I went around to fairs and I worked in the ag department analyzing plant samples and bugs and things like that just for the general public with the Department of Agriculture.
And now this is all through the nonprofit, and are you all volunteers?
Yes.
We
Wow.
are.
This is a whole group of service heroes that you've got going on here, David Jones.
Retired people trying
Yes.
to
We've
help
got
people
more.
learn, and I rescue bees.
We rescue bees. We got a beekeeper that's coming into the organization.
Yep.
So everything to do with life
See ya.
or organic fertilizers. In the book, The After Meal, I talk about my product, the water reclamation canister, and I go through all the little friendly insects in the compost pile. I don't know if you ever looked in there yet, but we talk about the friendly bugs, the bee. We talk about the worm, the 5 hearts, the gillet, how it breaks down food matter and its output gives us organic mineral content. Worms put phosphorus, carbon, copper, potassium, calcium, sodium, iron, magnesium, sulfur traces, zinc, magnesium traces. This is what the worm puts back into the soil. So this is what we sell, organic. In the rabbit poop has similar properties. Our plants, I'm going to turn my camera slowly so you can see some of our plants in our front yard. This is the front office here. But most of these are our mother plants. And we grow them and we capture the seeds and we plant them again next year.
Wow.
And we teach people how to do this as well, how to make money from plants and garbage. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Our garbage, I got worms in the worm bin down there. If I could take this camera and bring it, I could take my little but we actually grow worms in the ground. And we feed them paper. We go out and we collect cardboard from stores. We go to Starbucks and get Starbucks coffee grinds. The worms love the coffee grinds. I almost got into a fight with Cost You Less manager over there because he wouldn't give me their leftover, their day old lettuce and cabbages. I'm saying, man, look, I'm trying to save the world here.
One worm at a time.
Oh, man, it's so funny. You know, there are other wanting the garbage as well, so he couldn't give it all to me. So I'm debating with this guy, I'm fussing with him. Anyway, I got some of it, but I got so much vegetation out here. I just go cut some grass and I'll feed it to my worms. We got 5 or 6 worm bins in the ground. We have other farms that want to emulate what we're doing out here, Tamara. This is blowing my mind. Fork to Farm Africa. They want to start holding their meetings. They're talking about the freshness of fruit and vegetables that we consume. I told them, hey, you guys got to come talk to us first. If you want fresh vegetables organically grown, we've got the product for you. One man's trash is other man's treasure. We separate, reuse. That's what we talk about, and we teach our little kids to become after meal ambassadors. Once our kids come through our school, if they go to a restaurant and they find that the store owner is throwing ice away into the garbage can, they speak up. We give them a little certificate, a little badge to wear, dictating that they are after meal ambassadors. They are aware of what's happening in this world and it's theirs. We screwed up a lot. So it's up to the next generation to straighten out what we're doing. And this is what we're trying to do, one kid at a time. We're turning them into after meal ambassadors. We're giving them the power to know what they're eating, what they're consuming, all the carcinogens. In my book, The After Meal, I talk about MSG. It's an excitotoxin. What it does is excites the cells to the point of damage. And all the other carcinogens, the bleach, the dye, all the other fatty acids.
All the bad stuff, you know.
The label of anything you buy, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But once to it, all the autisms, the cancers, you can trace those back to environmental conditions, Monsanto, people that live around those type of places, they're coming out with all kinds of Lou Gehrig's diseases and everything. So it is definitely connected to what we are, the opioid connection that Sherry talks about. Opioids come out of our body. Now, how do they end up in the ocean? Because they come out of our body and they somehow get into our lakes and streams. So what we're doing by trying to eliminate liquids from the mix, no one else is talking about that. The liquids, I ran into a guy from the EPA. He says they know that it's happening, but they can't do anything about it because how are you going to stop people from pouring ice into the garbage, into the Black Lives Matter? Well, we figured out a way. We came up with a system. We believe that the water reclamation canister is the first step towards educating people. You got to start educating people. Acid rain was cured. We don't have that anymore because they started scientifically reducing the problem. This is what we do with garbage. We take a look at it and we realize that trash and post-packaging is just that. It's the building blocks of the next product, of houses, boats, whatever you want to make out of plastic. But once we throw all of these toxins on it, nobody wants to touch it.
No.
Dumps, landfills, and I know what I'm talking about. The cities, the states can't handle this problem anymore. We have to start dealing with our own aftermeal. There are new laws. I know all the laws like the back of my hand. AB 340-41. Modesto has an ordinance 3630, which suggests that fats, oils, and grease can no longer be put into our sewer system. Our sewer system is not designed to handle all of the restaurant waste. It's fermenting back down in the sewer. If you drop a lit match in a manhole cover, you better run because it's going to blow up because the vegetables are fermenting back down there. The methane gas.
I have all these movie images in my mind. You got my mind going, David. I mean, I see kaboom going on and everything. Now, who is this? This looks like an official picture. Say
again? Oh, this is Trish Spencer, the mayor of Alameda. She is aftermeal ambassador. I put that book in her hand, and once you start reading that book, it starts. You know that these things are already happening. I'm just confirming what's already happening out in the world today, and been thinking like this for the last 30 years. After I met Sherry, I was a passive activist until I met Sherry. Sherry didn't even read my book, but she read me. She out in me. I'm like a little guy with, good idea, but I'm small. Sherry makes you think big. She makes you think big.
Yeah. I think we're both in that camp.
Right, stop. Go no further than right here.
That's
when
right.
You press upon me with knowledge, which is what she did, get out the way, world. You are the same way.
Oh.
Done it for all of us. And anyway, where were we going?
Where we're going with this is, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we attach information here for people to get a hold of you, because when you started talking about that, you started with homeschool. Now you're in the public school system. Now you've got governmental officials that are becoming ambassadors. You've got now people on a global level that are interested in what you're doing. And the thing about it that I'm thinking is, you always think about that keep it simple. And and yet I know how amazing your brain is, and it takes it, and I love the fact that you, such a cranial, such an intelligent man that can type, the things that I know you can do, and yet you're able to bring it down to a level of rabbit pellets, and keep it simple. And in doing so, you are helping that next generation to help turn things around for themselves. You can feed someone, or you can teach them to fish. You can feed them with a fish, or you can teach them.
I'm a fishing pole.
Exactly. And you are being brilliant in the way that you're doing this in such a humble, serving servant type of a way. And And someone said it yesterday, and I want to get it right. You know, people say, oh, I think it was AG at the seminar I was at. And he says, you know, typically they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And he said, when the teacher is ready, the students will appear. And I think in your situation, it's kind of a little of a yin and yang. You got a little of both going on because you were preparing for so long while you were having this amazing computer, you know, experience. Your professional experience is absolutely incredible. And then you leave that world, and then you come and you're on a farm.
I'm on a farm and happy as can be. This is the happy
as can be.
My hands in the soil, turning it into money, making a way out of nothing. You know, that's just the way it is. And I'm so happy here. Corporate America has been great. I started working on computers when they were big enough that you could walk inside of them on the crazy computer. Now the speed of that supercomputer is in a phone.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been working.
Mind blowing, isn't it?
I am an engineer by trade. I used to teach school. I used to be a gym coach. I thought I wanted to be, you know, come out with the volleyballs. Why is there air to blow up volleyballs? And then I started working on computers, and the computers didn't fight back. Those kids, you couldn't say too much to them in schools. But now I started working on computers so I could kick one when nobody was looking and get it to working. But yeah, that's been my past life. Now I'm back to doing earth-friendly things. I tried to figure out what could one man do, and I found out that one man can do a lot if he's persistent and persevere and patient. And you find out that there's a purpose to your power if you keep on going.
A purpose to your power and a power to your purpose.
Power to the purpose.
And you know what? I have to say, I've been watching you for a while, and for a while, I didn't quite get it. You know, you would post pictures of this and you'd post pictures of that. And I kind of knew what you were doing, and I kind of didn't. I knew about the water, you know, the water deal, but then I'd see pictures of bunnies or, you know, or some other kind of a barnyard animal. And I'm thinking, how does this all go together? But now I'm getting it, you know, and you just because you have been working on this, yes, for a while, and it just is all coming together. And you know what? I just am so impressed that you didn't give up.
Thank you very much.
You didn't give up. And you know, and you not giving up, you just may. No, you will change this world. You, with the education and with those people that are joining your camp, one person at a time.
That's what it's about.
How exciting. You know what? You are certainly a service hero in every way possible. And those individuals that work with you. And if you could give me a list of their names, I'd like to include them in today's post, because you know what? They need to be recognized too for what they're doing. They are serving others and helping to create an educational program that is going to help serve the world.
There are more of us. And I'll get a list and I'll send it to you. Dawn Dallas, she's well known throughout the community. She's the Modesto Gardeners. She's the vice president of Modesto Gardeners Club out here, a membership of about 500 people. She's well respected within the community. She's like my little sister for the longest time. So she's cool, and man, she'll do anything for you. And Penny is the same. So we you know, we're just.
You're just doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it together. And, you know, I think that Sharon said it right here. This, you know, that is awesome. You know, it truly is. You're right, Sharon. It is awesome. And what you're doing, David, is awesome. And I want to say, you know, I could go on a tour of this forever, because, you know, I will say this. I was raised, some of my childhood, I was with my mother and my stepfather. And my stepfather really wanted all of us to understand what it was to work with the earth. And I've shared this with you, but, you know, and there were 7 of us into, you know, this combined marriage. And we all learned how to work in the garden. And we had chickens, and we had the chickens that were on the ground, and we had the chickens that were in the cage that they laid the eggs, and of course I had to have the cute little basket to go get the that was just the Tamara thing.
Oh, they're delicious. We got them.
Yeah, and so the appreciation that we were raised with for how we take so much for granted, and that we really shouldn't be. I will forever be grateful to my mother, Karen Swindle, and my stepfather, Joe Early, because they taught us what it was to appreciate the land, to appreciate what we have in a society that we take so much for granted. And you know what, David Jones, I appreciate you beyond words, because you are making a difference. You are a true service hero with your patents to help change the way that we recycle and our way of recycling. Because you know what, I have to tell you, in true disclosure, I wasn't that big of I did not quite get the green basket in for the trash, because you know what, I really didn't see how it could be effective. Your education has made me want to start recycling, because
Break it down.
yeah. And you know what,
Food product.
what I would like to be able to do is possibly, it would be a separate segment, but maybe what we could do, because I want to learn, and we can, I need to learn it very simply, and we can come back together and we can do something in like right. We'll have the after meal education. How does that sound?
You'll find out what's in your food. You'll find out what to do about it, and you'll find out the answer. My product is in this book I talk about. I have a diagram in this book, Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, and if you go to my website, you can get an ebook downloaded.
There you go. Okay. Well, then, the challenge is on for me to learn how to be more responsible, because you know what, and listening to you, because I needed this lesson. Thank you for teaching me. And I hope others are getting the same kind of motivation going in their gut right now, like, oh, now this makes sense, I can do this. Because I do want to save our world. I do want to make our world a better place. And that is why I'm so excited that we have so many service heroes. And David, I want to thank you for what you're doing. Sharon says that's a good idea. So we'll schedule a time and we'll do another show, and we'll do it the afternoon show.
Some of the master gardeners together here the next
Yes, we'll make it fun. So everybody stay tuned. You'll hear about it. All right. But
you should listen to my little sister Dawn talk. She's awesome.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We will have the whole group on, and
Cool.
and then I'm so excited about this. Okay, but what we're gonna do right now is we are gonna go ahead and close day 81 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. I want to say thank you.
You're the greatest. Well, what you're doing, this is so beneficial to us all. Thank you, Tamara.
Well, thank you. You know how I feel about you, David. I just love you dearly. And, someday I hope to be considered one of those sisters.
Definitely are, Tamara.
Okay. All right. Well, then, thank you for letting me be part of that family of yours. And so I really want to, as we end today, I want to see who else is inspired to be a service hero when it comes to our earth as I am. I'm inspired by today's service hero, my friend David. He has taught me that there is truly a possibility for us to look at, if you will, a used wrapper as not trash, but as something to be repurposed. And so if you are as inspired as I am, let's start doing something about it. It's time today. Let's start using those green bins. Let's start serving our earth and our community and our next generation with responsibility. And maybe even make it fun. There's ways of making it fun. If you've got kids in the house, why not make a game of it? And I mean, my kids, I know they loved that kind of thing. And they were always, like a little competition, healthy competition, was always fun. There's always ways of making something fun. But the main thing is, if this has inspired you, first of all, please let us know. Please share this, and so it can inspire others. And then we'll let you know when there's going to be the after meal show.
Okay.
All right, David, thank you so much. And I will see everybody tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.